What's up, Run 50 States My Way? It's Ashley, Ryan, and my parents again for another runcation road trip. This time we're heading to Huntsville, Alabama, but we could not travel south without stopping in one of the places that I've wanted to come to now for so long, and that's Bardstown, Kentucky. You know I'm a bourbon girl, so we had to come to the oldest bourbon bar in the country, the old Talbott Tavern here in Bardstown. What's great, not only is the food delicious, but if you are in Bardstown, you can stay here. We're going to see if any of the rooms are open. It doesn't really look like it. We'll stop into the bar. They have a gift shop. We'll showcase the food. It's a really great stop, along with some distilleries. So journey with us as we tour Bardstown on our road trip to Huntsville, Alabama. Like, subscribe, and journey with us as we bourbon it up here in Kentucky. Welcome to historic Bardstown, Run 50 States My Way, the old Talbott Tavern, restaurant, lodging, bourbon bar, and gift shop, and you can definitely feel the history. Check out all of those bourbons on that bar.
We say a solid 250 different bottles.
250 different bottles. Wow. When in Bardstown, you get bourbon. And we are currently at the oldest bourbon bar in the United States, in the country, the oldest bourbon bar. So of course I had to try a bourbon that I've never had before. So I am trying Noah's Mill, which is one of the bourbons that comes from Willett Distillery, which we are going to go to after lunch. It's really nice, really smooth, kind of just a simple mash bill with a nice Kentucky hug at the end. Really good. Fried green tomatoes and pickle chips.
Ryan, could I have a plate, please?
When in the South, you get fried pickles and fried green tomatoes. The best appetizers. The fried green tomatoes are breaded in a really light traditional breading. It's a classic. They're served with a really nice aioli. Very simple and absolutely delicious. The pickles as well, same breading, really light, served with a really nice like spicy mayo. So far, lunch is proving to be amazing. Kentucky Burgoo Stew. Go ahead, Ryan.
Okay.
How's it taste?
Yummy.
You haven't tasted it yet.
I know.
What's inside of it? Like vegetable soup?
It's 3 different kinds of meat.
It's actually really good.
With different vegetables.
Yeah.
And it's really overcast, rainy, and gloomy here in Bardstown, so it's the perfect day for this. And my mom got the chili. How's the chili, Mom?
That's with noodles.
Chili with noodles, so done the southern way. Ryan got the house-made barbecue pulled pork with coleslaw and fries. I got a bowl of the burgaloo, which I will describe here in a second. My dad got the burger, and my mom got the pulled pork as well. So Kentucky Burgaloo is beef, chicken, and pork in like a vegetable soup. So it's almost like a vegetable meat stew, and it's got like a nice spicy undertone. There's carrots, and there's tomatoes, and there's celery, all types of yummy things. Really good, very flavorful, and on a gloomy, rainy December day, this is actually really comforting. Ryan got the pulled pork. How is it? You like it good? My mom's trying it. Verdict?
Very good.
Very good. My mom's gonna give me a bite of the pulled pork as well, which I'm excited to give it a try. And my dad got a burger. So, how's the burger? My dad says the burger's good. My mom and dad got blackberry cobbler, which is my dad's favorite, so we're gonna check in and see what he thinks. But when in the South, especially where we are, there is only one pie, and that's the pie I grew up on. It's chess pie, not chest, chess pie. Sugar pie, deliciousness, the pie of the gods. I am so excited. We're gonna see if this one lives up to my grandma's recipe.
Very good, thank you.
Super excited. Let's take a peek. The consistency is slightly different. It's served warm. I'm so used to eating chess pie cold. Okay, this just took it to a whole new level. I've never had chess pie warm. Oh my gosh. This is really good. And it doesn't taste like chess pie, but it does taste like chess pie. But it's amazing. Definitely not like my grandma's, but it's a close, close second. Dad, how's the blackberry cobbler? Was good? All right. We've had an amazing lunch. Now we're gonna go look at the gift shop. Apparently, Abraham Lincoln came to the Talbott Tavern, and this right here is the Lincoln Suite. There are keys in the door, but I don't want to assume that I can actually go in. So up here is the different rooms. It looks like the Concord room is open, so I'm going to peek inside of that. But I don't want to assume that any room is open. It looks like the Jesse James room is open, so I'm going to peek down in here. Oh, this is neat. Okay, so here's where the actual room is. So the room is not open, but they have different artwork. Oh, wow. Okay, so it looks like when they were restoring the building, they found these paintings. Historical sketch of Louis Philippe. And this right here looks like a Grecian painting. They gave us a description of the history, and I haven't had a chance to fully read it yet, but we're definitely going to have to look through it and see what all it says about the old Talbott Tavern. This is really cool. All right, so there's the self-portrait and the mural of what looks like Louis Philippe. Take a step back in history by downloading our self-guided audio tour on the old Talbott Tavern app, which you can do on Google Play Store. That's really neat. So the last mural, which is this right here, destroyed in a fire in 1998, is a whimsical one, no doubt, inspired by the arrival of the royal party into Bardstown. Again, King Louis Philippe, when he was exiled during the French Revolution.
During the French Revolution in 1790, King Louis of France, Marie Antoinette's lover, got exiled from France and lived in this hotel as a guest of George Washington for 8 years. And while King Louis lived here, he found our decorations tacky, and he had these murals painted on the walls. And then when he checked out, he had them covered up, so they were discovered many years later. But it's in those murals that you'll find bullet holes that Jesse James, the famous outlaw, left behind when he was drunk. Each one of our dining rooms are, they're all historical, but they've all got a little bit of a different historical person they're named after. So this one, the pub, had hosted many people: Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, as well as John Fitch, the inventor of the steamboat, Washington Irving, the man who wrote the book Sleepy Hollow and the Headless Horseman. The back dining room is called the Walters. That's named after Alexander Walters. His mother was a slave, and she gave birth to him on the kitchen floor, which back then was that dining room. He grew up and was one of the creators of the NAACP.
Wow.
And then this dining room is called the Audubon, named after John James Audubon, the painter. He did a lot for bird watching and ornithology, but he left us 2 original prints, which are on the walls in there.
Okay.
As well as these beautiful, priceless Native American prints that also speckle the walls in there. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. So this is like not only the oldest bourbon bar in the country, but it's just a building riddled with history.
Absolutely. This is the oldest stagecoach west of the Allegheny Mountains as well.
Okay.
And where you're actually standing, this never used to be the gift shop. This was actually all dirt, and this is where they turned out the horses.
Oh, so we're in the barn.
Yep. So essentially you're in the barn right now. But what's also
The barn gift shop.
is just behind our hotel. Out these front doors behind us, we have a cemetery just behind the Jailer's Inn, where there's Revolutionary War soldiers buried back there. There's a beautiful mural to John Fitch back there. There's also a one-room schoolhouse.
Wow.
But some of the headstones are so old they don't even have dates anymore. It's a really cool place back there.
Talbott Tavern.
Old Talbott Tavern
is the place to come.
It is.
Awesome.
We are the epicenter of the bourbon capital of the world. Everybody comes here, so this is the place to be.
We had a great lunch and we've loved it. So now we're going to go check out Willett and Heaven Hill.
You're going to love Willett. When you go to Willett, ask for Shelby.
Shelby.
She's going to make it awesome.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing some of the history. This has just been a great little stop on our way south, road tripping, Run 50 States My Way. It's the way to be. Our first stop after lunch is one I'm really excited about. We are at the Heaven Hill Experience Distillery. It is absolutely massive. We're getting ready to go into the visitor center where there's a gift shop, a bar. We're gonna taste some bourbon. We're gonna buy some bourbon. But check out, runners and travelers alike, all of the different rack houses. Truly, truly, you know you're in bourbon country when you just come upon these warehouses. There's just so many. Absolutely incredible. Let's head in and check it out. Inside the Heaven Hill Distillery gift shop, wow. That's all I can say is wow. This is probably the best gift shop at a distillery I have ever seen. Different. Oh, burgoo. So I keep calling it burgaloo, but it's burgoo. That's the soup that we just had. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to take a look at that, and I might have to get that cookbook because that was such an amazing stew to have for lunch. Bottle and Bond, different sauces, the kitchen, Larceny. So for those that don't know, some of the brands that come out of Heaven Hill are Elijah Craig, Larceny, Evan Williams, and one of my all-time favorites, Henry McKenna. You will be visited by 3 spirits. That shirt is awesome. Gotta have your bourbon balls, mint and julep fudge, different glassware. Oh, I love this. It's like a little shot glass, but a Kentucky Mule glass. That's really neat. This is cool. It's a whole tasting set. 5 Brothers, different glasses, shirts, winter wear. Love it. Can't wait to shop here at the Heaven Hill Experience. Amazing. One of the really cool things that you can do at the Heaven Hill Distillery Experience is, now this is completely ticketed, so it's like doing a tasting, but you get to go into the laboratory, understand the different compounds, gauge the proof. Looks like you get to understand the aromas. And then next door in this room, you get to actually bottle your own bottle of bourbon. That is really cool. What a neat experience to do here at Heaven Hill. Also inside the Heaven Hill Distillery is a really nice museum that's in the back of the visitor center. This right here talks about Prohibition, decimates the whiskey industry. In 1933, Prohibition ends, which, you know, completely changed things. The whiskey distillers still in the game after Prohibition include National Distillers Products Corporation, which owns approximately 50% of all the whiskeys in America. Brown-Forman, Glenmore Distilleries, Shenley, and Frankfurt Distilleries. Five brothers invest in a distillery. So Heaven Hill, there's my reflection. Heaven Hill was created by 5 brothers. in the 1930s. Oh my gosh, those are just like the rocks glass or the whiskey glasses that I have. Love it. The name came from a mistake. In 1935, Old Heaven Hill Springs is registered as a company. The name comes from pioneer farmer and distiller William Heaven Hill, who once owned the land upon which Heaven Hill bottling plant, warehouses, and visitor center now sits. That's neat. So hence Heaven Hill. Right here is another ticketed experience. This is where you would do your bourbon tasting here at the Heaven Hill Distillery. Now we are not going to do a bourbon tasting here. Instead, we're going to go upstairs to the Five Brothers Bar and have a cocktail. Again, Evan Williams is the flagship brand that comes out of Heaven Hill. So if you've had Evan Williams, then you've had Heaven Hill bourbon. Looks like there was a fire here in 1996. Heaven Hill employees watched what they produce and love go up in flames. A fire of unknown origin destroys Heaven Hill's original distillery, 7 warehouses, and more than 90,000, wow, barrels of bourbon, 2% of the world's supply. Wow. How awful. This picture up here is an aerial footage of the fire. And to come here today and see how they've just really completely bounced back really shows exactly what this sign says, from ruin to rebirth. Another bourbon that comes out of this distillery is Old Fitz, I believe. And that's one that I've never had but really want to try. But I'm going to tell you what one of my top 10 bourbons is. And this is why we came to Heaven Hill. Unfortunately, they didn't have any. But my top 10 bourbons is single barrel, aged 10 years, bottle and bond, Henry McKenna. I absolutely love that one. Too bad they didn't have any today, but that's okay. We'll still go on the hunt. I love how they have it decorated for Christmas. Okay, here are the different pioneers. Thank you, Ryan. The pioneers in whiskey, the 5 Shapiro brothers who created Heaven Hill. So again, we have Evan Williams, Elijah Craig, and Elijah Craig for the first distiller to age his whiskey in new charred oak barrels. Evan Williams, Kentucky's first licensed commercial distillery. Henry McKenna, the Irish immigrant who adopted his family's recipe of whiskey to work with grains he found in Kentucky. That's really interesting. So go Henry McKenna. And then Isaac Bernheim ran large-scale distillery and distribution business that helped establish Louisville as a major center of Kentucky bourbon. And again, they have everything decorated so beautiful here for Christmas. Back here in this theater, they show a video. So of course, because of copyright, I will not be going into the theater to show the video. Well, and back here, it looks like we learn a little bit more about larceny. Again, larceny is another one of the Heaven Hill bourbons. It's the one with the key. So Larceny Kentucky Straight Bourbon has its origins in the history of John E. Fitzgerald and the Old Fitzgerald brand. It's a story of mystery and intrigue dating back to the 1870s, with some of the best-known names in bourbon adding to the legend. So that's interesting. I've never had Old Fitzgerald, which is one that I've always wanted to try because I just love the bottle, but I have had Larceny. So that's good to know that it comes from a similar mash bill. Wow, this museum is beautiful. Definitely worth a stop. Even if, like us, you're not doing a tasting. Just beautiful. Ooh, how Whiskey Thief works. This is interesting. So when they pull it out of the barrel, it's almost like a saber. And you pull a thumb from the vent hole to release the whiskey. Ryan, do it. It's not the sword in the stone, Arthur.
I dub thee
Ryan of Camelot.
Of course, what makes Kentucky bourbon, outside of the fact that it comes from Kentucky, it has corn in it, the water, of course, but extra special and extra important is the whiskey is aged in charred oak barrels, and that's what gives bourbon its distinctive coloring and flavor. Upstairs in the Heaven Hill Visitor Center Distillery is the Five Brothers Bar and Kitchen. Absolutely amazing. When you have pretty much the entire bar to yourself, you know it's going to be a good afternoon. We are inside of the Heaven Hill Five Brothers Bar, enjoying an absolutely delicious old-fashioned made with Elijah Craig. Again, beautiful location, sitting here in Kentucky on a nice little couch. We pretty much have the place to ourselves. Definitely check out Heaven Hill. Place is amazing in Bardstown. Probably one of the most beautiful distilleries that I've been to. Just the experience, the atmosphere, the gift shop was amazing. We even were able to score an extra special little baby bottle of bourbon, which I'll showcase once we leave. I'm really excited to try it, can't wait. It's a little grenade of straight out of the barrel bourbon. Yeah, limited, really cool, rare bourbon that we were able to get here at Heaven Hill. And again, the old fashioned, delicious. Our last stop here in Bardstown is one of my favorite bourbons that you can't get in Ohio, and that is Willet. So we're going to check out the gift shop. No, we're not doing a tasting, and unfortunately the bar at Willet is only open Wednesday through Sunday. We're here on a Tuesday, so we're missing our opportunity to have a cocktail at the bar at Willet. From what I understand and what I hear, they have excellent food opportunities. The restaurant is supposed to be delicious. The bar is supposed to be really cool, but we're not going to check that out today just because we're here on the wrong day. But that's okay, because I'm really excited to just check out the inside and really experience Willet, even for as minimal stop as we have. The Willet Distillery. All right, it was a great gift shop. We weren't able to do video inside of the Willet gift shop, but we will put a picture up of what the inside looked like. Definitely worth a stop. They have miniature bottles, got lots of really cute shirts, and of course we got a stamp in our bourbon passport. With that, we are off to Huntsville, Alabama. Run 50 States My Way. Like, subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite stop is here in Bardstown, because we loved checking out Willet, Heaven Hill, and having lunch at the old Talbott Tavern. With that, we're off to our next adventure. Thanks for watching.